What's going on, Norman?
Nothing much, man. How y'all doing, fellas?
I'm doing good. Good. How are you feeling?
Man, I'm in North Carolina. I just experienced an earthquake today. That was different.
We heard.
That's like the first thing. That's the first thing. Well, I don't know if you know, but me and Justin are from North Carolina, so.
Okay. What part?
We went to school in Greensboro. We played football for North Carolina.
Yep.
Okay. NCAT, huh?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
We might as well just jump right into that then.
But no, before we get started though, yeah, that's like the first thing I heard this morning was a whole bunch of texts like, we just felt the earthquake, and that never happens on the East Coast. So
Man,
Never.
I'm from New Orleans. I've never in my life thought I'd be experiencing an earthquake. Let alone when I'm visiting North Carolina of all states. I'm like, I didn't even know y'all. One, I didn't know y'all got hurricanes, so y'all just had a hurricane.
Oh yeah, we all get those.
yeah, we get those a lot.
Hurricane, a tornado. This heat has been crazy, and then the back door with an earthquake. Yeah, no, it's been. Yeah, I gotta leave.
Earthquake something new. It's something new.
Yeah, I've only experienced one earthquake since I've been there.
Never.
Yeah. But what the heck are you doing in North Carolina? What took you to North Carolina?
My girl just moved up here. She's a reporter for WRAL. I think that's
Raleigh.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
And I wanted to wait on this question because I wanted to ask on the back burner, but it's funny, and I don't know. I never even mentioned this to Kate though, but so Norman, you ran into one of my childhood friends just the other day, and he was explaining. He was like, I just ran into this dude, met him at the airport, yada, yada, yada. I was like, he sounds familiar. So I went to my social media, saw we followed each other, and, I was like, I got to get him on the show. It was like God was just like.
It just was connecting the dots, man.
It was so weird how it happened, but yeah, Kate, so he ran into, and you can kind of give like the backstory on that. He ran into my one of my childhood friends I've known since kindergarten, same birthday, same everything, and it just kind of pieced together.
Yeah, so what's crazy is my grandma bought me this Cap Alpha Psi mask. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, let me just Grandma's bought it, let me put it on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm walking through the airport with the mask on. And I was really just going to go sit down, but at the same time, he was calling me over, but I didn't notice. So as I'm sitting down, he take his mask off, you know what I'm saying? He just like, what's up, Noop? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh, shit, you know what I'm saying? So we just started talking, and we was talking for like 45 minutes. And he was just telling me how he went to Davidson, he played football.
Yep.
And I told him that, I was visiting, and I'm trying to get active and trying to make this a permanent move out here.
Right.
And like I said, he was just linking. It was like I said, this was probably because I'm spring 20. I'm still a Neo. I'm old. Quarantine news. So that was my first encounter running into another brother post initiation. So just to run into him, and we completely different states, run into it, and it just, man, it's the bond, bro. That's all I can really say.
That's how it is, and he's actually working on. I don't want to spill his information out here and whatnot, but he told you about it. Okay, cool. He's doing some great stuff, man. I'm proud of him. But
oh snap!
Yeah, so we're gonna dig into Norman. Who is Norman? So first and foremost, can you tell the people who you are? Your upbringing, where you're from, all of that.
Well, my name is Norman Locke, born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana. I went to St. Augustine High School, played football 2 years in high school. Some of my former teammates are in the league, Tyron Matthew, Trey Turner. So yeah, big time, man.
Okay.
What's crazy is me and Tyron, we've been friends since 4th grade. So we went to elementary school together So our elementary school only had a flag football team. So in 3rd grade, we didn't win not one game. Hiram came in 4th grade. We was a championship every year. Like it was easy rings, middle school rings.
Hey. But before you keep going, do you know Marcel Andrew?
Marcel.
He played football at St. Augustine's too.
He might be. How old is he?
I think he around my age, 24, maybe 25.
I just turned 28. Just.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
yeah,
okay. Bet.
So he probably younger. My senior year was Leonard Fournette's 8th grade year.
You know, I think he played with Leonard and them. Bet. Okay.
Now, what's crazy is Leonard was out there just destroying kids in 8th grade. Like Leonard was 6 feet, 225, bald head in 8th grade.
Oh man.
Grown
man.
man.
It made him stop playing 8th grade football because like parents was petitioning like there's nothing we can do with this guy. So he only played like 2 games and it was like done. Like he saved him, keep him rested. 9th grade year, you on varsity, bro. He started running back.
I still remember, and it's kind of weird to say like this is when social media was starting to pop off and stuff because it makes me feel kind of old. But honestly, like social media, Twitter was really starting to pop off with Around the radar something where they used to spotlight athletes. Yeah, Under the Radar.
Yeah. Under the Radar. Yeah.
And I used to see Leonard Fournette, you know, all those big time recruits and stuff, like just dominating. I'm like, what am I like? I feel like a little kid, and they're the same.
I was a senior going to breakfast, and he like, "Oh, what's up, Norm?" And I'm like, "What's up, big bro?"
Big little bro.
Big little bro, because he was a mad giant. Stamina was crazy. Like he was outworking. That's what I said. I wish we made it to the I think the 3rd round of the playoffs my senior year. But if we would have had Leonard, we would have won. It was just that simple. So I wish we could have had the 8th grade. But then I went to college at University of Louisiana at Lafayette. Mm-hmm. That's maybe 2 hours from New Orleans, 45 minutes from LSU in Baton Rouge. Mass comm degree, minor in English. I actually was a video coordinator for the football team. 2014, got a bowl ring with the team. Got a bull run with the team. And that's when that year, 2014, I started working for the ESPN flagship station in Lafayette. What's crazy is I applied that summer for an internship and they said they wasn't hiring any interns, but then 2 weeks later, they actually called me and gave me a part-time job.
Wow.
Ooh,
so I didn't have any experience. That's why I said my program director, Scott Prather, I give a lot of praise to, with just, you know, giving me that shot. And then, you know, a lot of places don't allow you to promote your blackness. He allowed me to do every idea, anything I want. Even when the Kaepernick situation came about, like I was free to say my own thoughts. I've never got withheld, not once. And Lafayette is a conservative city, very conservative. I am probably been one of the few only radio sports broadcasters that's black in Louisiana. So, you know, if you say something that's pretty controversial, it's going to come around. You know, Norman said that.
Right.
So, but I just, you know, much praises to them on just letting me be me.
Definitely.
And you're a part of the NABJ. I saw on your Twitter bio. Just talk about that experience. Like, what has that provided you? Like with help, mentorship, so just anything. Like, how's that helped you along your journey?
NABJ. My first experience with NABJ was NABJ New Orleans, and I was still in college, and it was amazing. The panelists, the culture is just like being around. Again, Lafayette is such a conservative. Don't see too many people in the same field as me, in the industry as me, to go in there and seeing 4,000 people that walk and talk and act like me. It was just so real. And, you know, then they mix in the turn up also. So it's like, you're just getting work done. You start 5:30, 6 a.m. each day, but you're going to sleep at 4:30, 5 a.m. each day also. Just because the amount of networking that you're doing at the social events afterwards. Last year, NABJ was in Miami, and I'm going to say that was probably one of the best experiences of my life.
I hate
just run into the bigger spaces in the industry and they treat you like a regular person. I can say that I'm okay friends with Rob Parker, and I met him in the lobby, and he just showed the utmost love. I could text him, send him my stuff, get critiques, and he texts back. He doesn't act, big time. Marcus Spears doesn't act big time. Ryan Clark, anybody that I've met at NABJ, they've given me their personal phone numbers, personal email addresses, and even though that they're so busy with their own life, they always find time to reach back.
That's real. That's real.
And so to kind of talk about going back to, freshman year of Lafayette, I hope I'm saying that right. And so,
yeah, Lafayette.
Okay, so what made you want to apply to the ESPN flagship? Was it just like, did you have like a passion to be on the radio, or was this just like an opportunity?
So started getting that itch again to play football, and tried out for the team. And they had a coaching change, and the walk-ons kind of got let go. And so I started just soul searching, and I'm like, I called up the coaches at Louisiana College, D3 school, and just was thinking, like, do I really want to start over? Do I want to move and hit this D3 grind? Like, I got, Tyron Matthew, Trey Turner, all boom. I'm just like, man, what's for me? And just talking with family, they was just like, well, Darv, you can always be around the game. You don't have to be in the game. I'm like, you know what? That's true. So just talking with different people, networking, I'm just like, radio, you have more freedom. Television, people see you more. But the type of person that I am, I want to be heard. I don't really necessarily have to be seen, but I want to be heard. So that tracked me to being on the radio. And I have a good friend of mine who was going to Southern University in Baton Rouge, and he was aspiring to be a DJ, a disc jockey. So we both were just sitting in the living room one day, and we just like, man, in order to further our careers and better ourselves, we have to get official, meaning we have to get some type of internship, some type of major network behind our brand. We can't just be like, oh, we get on YouTube and just talk sports, even though that's the wave now, but back then in 2014, we was just trying to figure it out. So we went on resumebuilder.com, made up a resume, made ourselves sound so super fancy, even though we was just like sophomores in college. And I got a taste for it doing high school football. On Fridays, they let me run the social media accounts, and every now and then chime me on to talk about Leonard Fournette and St. Aug, and I just fell in love with it.
Okay. And since being at ESPN, being your own personality, radio personality, who's some of the people you've looked up to now that's helping you grow now as a radio personality?
I'll say Marcus Spears is probably the biggest influence that I have right now, just because of the way that he's genuine with his personality. Everybody has a on-camera personality. You're not going to give the world your total self, but he gives the world his total self. And on camera, off camera, he doesn't change. So I try to project myself on being like that. Even Rob Parker also, or Chris Broussard, like they're their total selves every day. Shannon Sharp, he's the same person every day. When he got the Henny on camera, the Henny off camera, that's the same person. And that's just what I aspire to be. And I just try to push young broadcasters, black broadcasters, Hispanic, white, just be yourself. And that's just the biggest thing of how I treat my brand and talking sports is I'm gonna be myself.
Definitely. And something that stood out to me, kind of what you just said, me and Kate both went through, Division I football, like dedicating our time to that. And, you see so many of your teammates and stuff get locked into the, I got to make it, through football. I got to make it through basketball. And one thing that you said that stood out to me was, yeah, my friends are doing this, but what is good for Norman? And so can you kind of talk about, can you stress the importance of finding who you are and what your purpose is, as opposed to chasing what, everyone else is doing and things like that?
Yeah, everything's not for you. Me playing 16 regular season games, getting beat up for 10 years, is not for me. Yeah, it's not for me. Waking up 5 a.m., going to hit them weights, hitting them states. It's not for me, bro. It's not for me. Not no more. It's done. It's done. You know, so it could be for somebody else, and I can enjoy watching them do them, watching them be happy, selling at what they're best at. Just like you could turn around and them watch me, even when I was on the sideline covering LSU games, and Tyron Matthew or somebody else will come up, and then they'll come speak to me. People are like, you know, how you know this guy? You know, I'm like, I'm still connected. You know, I don't have to be on the field with him for him to still respect me for what I do, just like I respect everybody else for what they do. So I just say, you know, everything is not for you, and what's for you shall never pass you.
Definitely.
So what's your end goal with this? Where you trying to reach? Like what is your main objective in your field right now?
You see how Mike Golick just retired after like 30 years on the radio? I want to have a national syndicate radio show for 20, 30 plus years. It could be Sirius, it could be ESPN, it could be Fox. Well, you know, I'm after the bag. That's number one. I'm after the bag. But a national, show me the money. Nah, but a national syndicate radio show, and then hopefully retire back in New Orleans and just talk sports, you know, until I expire. But a national syndicate radio show. My name is Norman Locke. My Sunday show is the Morning Lock-In. So I just hope to grow the Morning Lock-In and be on everybody's radio from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. just like my goal was.
Definitely, and that's cool. And so how the heck did you get your own name? Like, so, and like I'm not too keen on like the radio business, and so you know, that's kind of why I wanted to pick your brain a little bit. And so you mentioned how you get to this, you know, flagship ESPN station as an intern. You know, they offer you part-time, and now, you know, you're doing full-time. How the heck did you get, you know, your own show, you know, with your name in it, that whole?
Well, I have an alter ego, got a Batman alter ego. You know, I was a club promoter while in college also. So from New Orleans to Lafayette, almost to even Shreveport, you can find somebody that knows Norman Locke. So once the station figured that out, like the entire campus, whether it's LSU, Tulane, UL, they kind of know this guy. You know, when we post something or when he says something or whenever he's on air, the listeners go up. So I kind of just started using that as leverage. You know, they started me working the social media on Fridays, doing high school football. So what I just did was connected with the high school players. You know, I'm closer to their age, and they'll trust me more with their information and connecting with them than somebody that doesn't look like them. So I just used that to my advantage. You know, I had some of the guys, you know, every football player got to drop a mixtape or a song or something. I made one of the guys make a theme song for the Friday night show. Like, you might as well do it, bro. You be dropping a mixtape. You know, might as well make my theme song. So now you just have all the high school football players as they go 9 through 12. They got to follow Katie at a Football Fridays on Twitter, because I'm going to retweet your highlights. I'm going to retweet your huddle account. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to boast and brag you. Your mom going to call in and talk about your stats, and I'm going to talk to your mom about your stats. Mm-hmm. And I just kind of kept using that as leverage. And then Saturdays, they started letting me do kind of like tailgate, fan engagement with the college, with UL. And then I had, you know, Tyron Matthew at LSU. So whenever I go to LSU, I'm able to talk with him, get a little tidbits of information, get to places where I'm not supposed to be at, to get pictures that I'm not supposed to have. And I just kept using that leverage to kind of gain traction. And then one day I was just like, man, I went to my boss. I was like, I've been working here 4 years. I think I deserve my own show. He was like, well, you ready? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, look, I'm going to do everything. I'm going to produce it. I'm going to write it. I'm going to social media clip it. I'm going to do everything. You don't got to do nothing but give me the okay. He gave me the okay.
That's real. That's real. And so being at ESPN, I want to put you on the hot seat a little bit. I want to get your favorite radio personalities, or just give me a top 5 of the best radio personalities you've ever seen.
They won't all be at ESPN.
Okay.
But most personalities have to double and do some type of radio content. Like Stephen A. is on TV, but he also the Stephen A. show on the radio. So
Mhm.
I like Stephen A. Stephen A. knows what he's talking about. It's very informative. Um, Chris Broussard and Rob Parker, the odd couple, they also have a good podcast. But I don't kind of base it on just the sports radio personalities. I look at people who are on the radio or do podcasts in general. Like I'm a big fan of the Joe Budden podcast and the way that
Hey.
he just holds the audience's attention, the way he doesn't bring on vanilla guests on. He stays away from certain topics. He knows how to maneuver. So I kind of watch the people in different media spaces to kind of grab some of my game, not just sports, because most of the people who are the quote unquote gatekeepers of the sports right now, I feel as though are somewhat outdated. So I just kind of just pull from all the different avenues. But I'm a big supporter of the Joe Budden podcast.
All right, me too. I'll be telling Malik like that's the best podcast going right now.
That's the best podcast going right now.
I'm gonna have to tap in. I'm gonna have to tap in. I have another kind of hot topic right now. Who do you feel is gonna win between Mike Tyson and Roy?
Mike, man, that's the most built, sculpted 40-plus-year-old I've ever seen in my life. I probably wouldn't want to fight. I'm 28. Mike's double my age, and I'm still not fighting Mike. Mike can be 65, and I'm not fighting Mike Tyson. So Roy Williams, I'm sorry, bro, but Mike is about to eat your lunch. I don't know why anybody would sign up to fight Mike Tyson. I don't know.
Like,
I totally agree.
I was watching a video earlier this morning of the two beside each other, like them throwing hands. Bro, Mike.
It might get ugly, though.
It might get ugly. Mike, if we get old school Mike, it might be done in 2 rounds. It honestly might be done in 2 rounds. Because he's such in shape, and I'm watching, videos of him punching that bag. He still has his power. And long as when George Foreman came out of retirement, that's the one thing he still had, his power.
Yep.
So if Mike Tyson comes back and he has this power that we see on his bags, he don't have to have stamina. He don't got to have speed. He don't got to have a chin. He's got to hit you one time.
and I'll add this to it. Training has gotten a lot better. It's a lot more science behind it. And so it's like his power with what he used to know, with what he knows now, it's out of this world.
He's an amazing athlete. He's one of the most conditioned. Like, again, I'm just amazed at how he's kept his body to this condition for all of these years. You see some Olympians, basketball players, football players that still wouldn't have been in this type of shape that he's in. I can only probably compare maybe Terrell Owens, who's in shape compared to Mike Tyson.
And I'll kind of add on to that. And so I'll say, as soon as football completely ended for me, it was like a burden had just left over my shoulders. It was like, I don't have to wake up in the morning. I don't have to live. I'm not forced to go eat. Like, and so I kind of understand, like, I commend, Mike Tyson's and, the Terrell Owens that are still fit, because it's like, man, like
regimen, that grind.
Right.
It's just stuck in him.
It's crazy.
Nobody can make me drink 3 protein shakes a day, no more.
And us.
And our protein we had at school, I ain't gonna get on that. I let that be.
I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that. So what was the school life at UL Lafayette?
Well, when I started, it was probably wasn't as advanced as it is now, because the football team wasn't winning when I first got there ever in school history. Like, I'm gonna say the best we ever went was maybe 500. Yeah, we had a bowl, we had a conference 3-way tie. That's the best we ever had, a conference 3-way tie win. And then from 2011 to 2015, going to 5 straight bowl games, winning 4 out of 5. The facilities started getting better. More fans started. Jerseys went from Russell to Adidas in that time span. And just seeing more and more athletes start trickling in, and less Louisiana commits leaving. LSU eats up most of the big time commits, and then you got Mississippi and then Texas that gets the rest of everybody else. But now people are really considering coming to UL versus going to a different conference if you can't get to that SEC and going to another school. So I'm the come up in the past 5-6 years for UL Lafayette has been amazing.
Same here. I would say when me and Kate's got to A&T, you got there in what, 15?
Yeah, we was on the rise at that point. We was
So like my freshman year at 14, it was a crap show. We had the Russell jerseys, the facilities were trash. Like so you go to a PWR. You went to a PWR. Imagine an HBCU, like whatever it was at your PWR, like multiple by 10. Like it was like trash. And so it almost like we literally watched over our 4 years of being there, like we watched it grow. It was a great feeling to be a part of that, and you look back, it's like, dang, like we did that.
Yeah, now I got 6 rings now. So
talk that talk. Talk that talk.
But for everybody that wants to get in contact with you, Norman, they want to get on the show, they want to send ideas. How can they hit you up? Twitter, Instagram, email, whatever.
I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. Let me see. My Twitter is Locke_Norm, and my Instagram is Norm Locke_. Somebody stole the other way. I'm also on YouTube. My show is on Spotify. It will be on Apple next week. But I'm really easy to contact. You can find me. As I say, if you Google my name, you can pretty much find all my contacts, LinkedIn, YouTube, anything. I love to talk.
Okay.
It's just still. I was right before we started. I was sitting there saying, me and Justin like to talk, so that's why the heck we started this. YouTube is a second avenue of platform, so we're just trying to
get that bread,
podcast ourselves out.
Now I got some questions for y'all.
Oh snap!
Okay.
I never had this everywhere else.
So what are y'all aspirations in the broadcast spectrum? What do y'all want to do?
You want to start this, Kate, or?
I'm new to it, so I started. I'm trying to get big with it. The bigger I get, the more money I feel like I could possibly get. So I'm trying to get as high as I could possibly go. Have my own show one day, anchor, get big with the YouTube as well. So I'm just trying to get TV-wise, personality-wise, definitely want to be like an anchor, have my own show. YouTube-wise, I'm just trying to run the podcast. Then maybe branch off and get my own show or something.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll kind of say the same thing. I'm fairly new to this as well, but yeah, just trying to run it up. I'm trying to have my own show one day. Trying to tap into different avenues, kind of like how you mentioned with Stephen A. Smith. Has his own personality on TV, own personality on the radio. It's just so many avenues when it comes to being a personality in the media business. So just trying to tap into everything, and that's kind of why we started this YouTube channel. With COVID, things like that. Same way how the Tyrann Matthews, the I can't think of his name right now, but we're actually tapped in with a lot of people as well, and so we're just trying to other people it looks weird because it's like, how the heck do you know him, or how it goes, like, so we're just trying to bring them on, talk to them, pick their brain, and let people see the other side of other things. But biggest thing is just trying to run it up.
Networking.
How do y'all feel about the MEAC canceled all fall sports, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do y'all feel about that from an athlete's perspective for the seniors right now who, the NFL doesn't have a policy like the NBA where if you don't get drafted, you could go back to school. How do you feel the seniors, how does it affect the seniors? Do they play this postponed spring ball, or do they just try to get drafted, or they just, take that next step in life?
So hold on, before you answer, Justin. So this kind of just, I'm sorry, this just something popped up, but Justin literally just went through. He just graduated like back in 2019,
Mm-hmm.
and you know he went through the pro day situation. You know, with COVID and everything, they canceled pro days, and so he could kind of talk about the experience of how critical seasons are, pro days are.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, so definitely. Yeah, I didn't have no pro day. I got invited to the HBCU NFL Combine for the first one they ever had, just focusing on HBCU athletes. That got canceled as well. So I didn't really get a chance, like you feel me, to showcase what I wanted to showcase and display. Like a lot of lower division guys get, they call because they talk to not agents, but they talk to scouts. They just put their name out there. They see the film. So it's crazy. Like I've been talking to a couple of boys now. My boy, for example, Mike Branch, he's not sure if he's gonna get his eligibility back or not. So he's going through mentally. He's messed up right now because he don't know, like, can he play next year college? If he can't play college, like, I gotta do pro day. He's not even sure if he's gonna have a pro day. So I feel for him for real. Cause it's just a bad time, honestly. I feel for them.
And to kind of piggyback off of that, like, these aren't just regular these are like their stats are phenomenal, All-American type players.
Oh my God, bro.
For something like the MEAC, to cancel the season, which I understand fully, like this is truly a game changer for a lot of guys because you can have an All-American season and still not be seen by an NFL team. They do not care about that. Like
pro day is so important, man.
Pro day is so important. It's so important. You better run a fast 40 because that's all they care about. Have a crappy spot. I've seen some of the crappiest players get invited to a camp just because their 40 was fast.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And I think that's the biggest thing that I feel for all athletes that are going through right now, especially the football players, just because, I connect a little bit more with them. But to miss your senior, even like with high school, one, you got to pay the college players because, it's just that simple. But high school players, it's like, okay, what's the field of advantage when you have some players in some high schools that are playing this season in states that the COVID is not affecting them as worse as others. Then you have some players that the whole senior season is wasted. What's the difference of both players on getting a scholarship or offer to go to the next level? And then, like you said, with the college players, if you got that MEAC running back that ran for 1 million yards for 4 seasons, but now he can't play that one season, he can't get that look for those teams to get that chance to get to the league. And does he just quit? That's not fair.
Right.
When you have some players like a Trevor Lawrence that if football ended today, he could still go number 1 possibly.
Good. He's still good. It's honestly, life goes on. When someone dies, life goes on. And so the season is dead. And the biggest thing is just keep training. You have to keep training like guys I'm stuck with names. Running back, I can't think of his name.
John
Maine. Yeah, Maine. Like he's one of those running backs where the scouts are salivating over him right now. Big time HBCU player. But it's like all of that will go out of the window if you don't have this one season. So, for him, I just hope that he's training and prays that a pro day or even a spring season comes because all that can go out the window off of just one season.
Tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm gonna poke a little fun. So I know y'all went to NCAT, but who's the most popular HBCU? I be seeing a lot of smoke on the timeline on who's the most popular HBCU, but I don't know. I never see a clear-cut winner. I just see smoke. That's all it is.
It's definitely between us and Howard. I would say, me personally.
Okay.
Us and Howard. Just because the homecoming, ain't nobody messing with us homecoming-wise. It ain't even close.
Listen. So first off, I'm gonna say A&T. We gotta represent
Gotta go with the bias. Gotta go with the bias.
Gotta go to school. They tapped into me. I'm gonna tap into them. But as far as homecoming, I've never really been to a Howard homecoming, but I've heard that it's different. It's lit. But I will say, well, a lot. We played a game there one time for their homecoming or whatever. But but not as far as just like a regular person going. But I will say A&T's homecoming is so. It's like you go to 20 different cookouts, like, and you know everybody. You don't really know everybody, but you know everybody. It's a million different cookouts in the backyard, and you can just tap in. And especially like if you're someone who's like known, or you have like the band logo, the football logo, basketball logo, cheerleading look, like even if you just say NCAT student, they're going to pull you in, come
Mhm.
and come and get a plate. And these are like
They showing love. They showing love.
it's to the point where like the next month you have food just stocked up in your refrigerator, like I'm good, I'm set. So
Straight.
that's probably the one regret I have in college is not being able to travel and experience that HBCU feel. I mean, Southern, I've been to, a couple of different events at Southern University, Xavier University, Grambling University, but they aren't as big as A&T or Howard or Hampton. So I've never really known how big it could probably get, because LSU's homecoming, it's going to be maybe like 200,000 people out there. 100,000 fits in the stadium. And you're going to have people that's not even going into the game. So it's just like the entire campus is used for tailgating. And that's my biggest homecoming or football experience is an LSU football game. Like when LSU plays Alabama, you're not going anywhere. It's gridlocked for 5 to 6 hours. They have contraflow. They're changing the routes of the roads. Mm-hmm. It's that bad. You can't even get to a bar or a nightclub after a major LSU game because you're going to be in traffic until midnight.
And see, the game for HBCU, the games and the tailgate, Pat. The game's going to be lit. Packed out, no stands, everything. And the nightlife crazy.
And with the LSU game, regardless, like they're gonna have a packed out stadium dang near every Saturday. And so you have like a homecoming game, versus Alabama game, things like that. It just elevates it a little bit more. As far as the HBCU, I think we might have Central homecoming.
Mm-hmm. Central homecoming.
It's like a couple more games where you'll have like a full packed out 40,000 people in the stadium, like. But it's like the rest of the other games, it could be completely empty, And that's a good thing. That's one thing I do love about A&T. No matter where we go, we can go to California. Aggies are gonna travel. They travel wherever. Like,
and I noticed that with all HBCUs, because Southern Grambling, when they go play in Texas against PV, it's man, the Southern fans out there. When they go to Tuskegee and play, man, they out there. I just be amazed because it's like, you out fans. If it ain't New Orleans, they're not traveling.
They're not coming. All right.
It's not New Orleans. That game will be empty. We played Mississippi State in New Orleans in the Superdome, and it was empty.
Wow.
And we almost won. That's the crazy part. And so it was empty. We played Florida in Florida. And I mean, it was majority Florida fans, and we almost won. We lost on a block punt return for a touchdown for the last play of the game, which is
wow.
Y'all
are in the SoCon? Is that y'all are in the SoCon?
In the Sun Belt
with App State and all them.
Yeah. App State
tough conference. That's a tough conference.
It is tough.
App State has had our number for the past 2 years. We was in the Sun Belt Championship last year, the first ever Sun Belt Championship against App State.
I watched that game.
Yeah, actually, my senior year of high school, it's fun. So this is a funny story. So my senior year of high school, App State was recruiting, and they had invited me to that game against A&T. So I'm at the game. I'm like, this black team is not gonna beat. They're like about to beat App State. Yada yada yada. A&T ended up coming back. Well, they came back. Won the game. I think by like a touchdown or something.
Yeah.
And like after that, it was just funny because, you could see like the rise of A&T then. It was, still a school that was slept on. Even I didn't know anything about A&T, but it just see the power that A&T has. I don't know. I
see it on my timeline all the time when it comes to sports and football. I mean, The only time I ever seen Howard come on my timeline is when Cam Newton, little brother, went there to play football. Other than that, I don't really see too much football come out of there. And then the Grambling Southern rivalry, is big in Louisiana. So that's always the big time. But y'all the only school from up, I'll say that the East is that rings down in the South.
And what's that? The Bayou Classic?
The Bayou Classic, yeah, it's just different.
Yep. I heard that's lit too. That's normally like during our like off week, like right after the season. Because I think y'all
that's the game to get them to celebrate.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we chill. Yeah, we be all practicing that week. Yeah.
And how do you feel about these, big time basketball players committing to these HBCUs?
I think it should have been doing it a long time because basketball is you're in school for 2 months. Like people that say what they want, you're in school for 2 months. If you're a basketball player, you're doing your fall semester. You're a freshman. You ain't got that many classes. You know what I'm saying? You come into the spring, you always traveling, and if you big time by April, you're not even going to school no more.
Right.
So I'm like, you might as well go wherever you want to go. So going to HBCU, you might as well go embrace that, have fun. You're gonna be a top first round pick regardless of wherever you go. Even if you sit out and don't play basketball, you're gonna get picked up. So you might as well go get the HBCUs those TV contracts because going to these UNC, Duke, Kentucky type schools, it wouldn't even make sense to me.
Right.
I got you. Yeah, definitely. I definitely feel like they're going. This HBCUs in general are just going to grow from these, young kids going to these schools now. For sure, these 4 and 5 star recruits, definitely.
And I see the NBA players pushing it heavily. But what I want one of them to do is send their son to HBCU. Y'all, you target it, walk it. Send your son there. Send your daughter there. Let's see you pull up to the games with your NBA celebrity friends. Let's see you pull up and have your face on these sponsorships and on these banners at these HBCU games. Let's see it. I love that Chris Paul wears, all the paraphernalia to the games. But Chris Paul, your son is going to get of age in a few years. Make sure always go to one of them schools.
Right.
He might not be the best athlete, he might not even want to be an athlete. Make sure you send him to HBCU though. If you truly support, and again, if that's where they want to go, also, you can't just force them to go where they want.
Exactly. Money is power. I don't like to talk about money a lot, but that's HBCUs are very underfunded, and that's why athletes, shy away from it because they fear they might not get, the 5 stars that you might get out of Alabama or one of these big programs. So that's one of my goals, once I blow up one day and, make a lot of money, I'm definitely going to tap into not just A&P, but HBCUs and make sure that they're fed. Because it's definitely important.
For sure.
But we won't keep you too much longer, Norman. I appreciate you a lot, man, for coming on the show. If you could, let us know again where people can find you on social media and, what you do.
You can find me on Twitter at Locke_Norm. You can find me on Instagram at Norm Locke_. The Morning Lock-In available on Spotify, Google Podcasts. We'll be on Apple iTunes next week. Each and every Sunday morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. If you go on the Apple Store, iTunes Store, ESPN 1420 app. There's another one in Hawaii that's, kind of got our same name, but that's not the right one. So ESPN 1420. ESPN 1420, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Sunday mornings. Hopefully we have a football season and our, broadcasts are maybe growing to more and more data. But right now with sports in limbo, we just got basketball, so I'm kind of limited to one day a week right now until sports kind of open back up. So hopefully the government can get together. Maybe Adam Silver go talk to our administration. We can get some stuff done.
Definitely.
Facts.
So I appreciate y'all for having me on. Anytime, man, y'all let me know. I appreciate y'all, and I definitely going to have to schedule y'all to come on the show because I want to have y'all insight, especially both of y'all being former athletes, the MEAC canceling football season and Big 12, and the dominoes of football. We're going to find out if football is going to be here within these next coming weeks. So I appreciate y'all.
We're gonna hold you to that. Now. Hold you to that.
Hey, man, you can hold me to whatever I say. Follow me on Twitter. You know what I'm saying, and hold me accountable to any and everything I say.
Gotcha.
I'm a troll, so I'm gonna hold you to it.
All right, fellas.
All righty then. We'll see you, man.
All right. Thank you.